Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to World of Warships with Rear Admiral Jingles, and just for a change this week, here's something that isn't actually Russian. It's the Minotaur, sailed by Scarecrow 443. He's going to be colonising the Shatter map for us today in his British Tier 10 light cruiser. Anyway, while Scarecrow is manoeuvring for position at the start of the match, it occurred to me that there were a couple of incidents that occurred when I was in St. Petersburg last week that I forgot to mention in Mingles with Jingles, and, well, now seems like as good a time as any. Before flying out to Russia, I'd got myself a new pair of boots, about 3 or 4 days beforehand, and I'd been wearing them around the house to break them in so that, they didn't eat my feet alive while I was in Russia. Turns out I hadn't been wearing them around the house quite as much as I should have, because as soon as I got off the aircraft in St. Petersburg, these boots had eaten my feet alive, and I was in agony. Luckily, the hotel where Wargaming were putting us up was right across the road from a shopping mall. So I thought, bargain, that'll do. I'll pop in there, and I'll just get myself a cheap pair of training shoes. I realise they call them different things all around the world. In Britain we call them trainers. I think in America they call them running shoes or sneakers, or you get the general idea. Anyway, shouldn't be too expensive. And I only wanted a cheap pair. I mean, they only had to last me the duration of the visit to St. Petersburg. If they fell apart after a week, I didn't care. But anything was better than continuing to suffer through the brand new boots that were busy chewing on my feet. So I popped over the road to this. Oh, hang on a second. Continue this story in a moment. Scarecrow spotted. The Shimakaze with him does not appear to be even slightly interested of actually getting into that cap circle. So, yeah. Enemy team are capping A and B, and Scarecrow's team is capping C. Now, Minotaur obviously has a smokescreen, but that would be a bit obvious. He could pop his smoke here and start taking shots at all of those lovely targets, but they saw him slip in here. If they were suddenly to spot a smokescreen around the side of that island, it would be pretty obvious what was happening. He's popped his hydro just in case of torpedoes, but every torpedo on the planet would be fired in that smokescreen, and they'd just be sitting looking for his muzzle flashes and firing straight back at him. So yeah, that would have been a little obvious, and he's not falling for it. He's having a quick look around the other side of the island, attempting to see if he can get eyes on whichever enemy destroyer has just managed to successfully cap A. His hydro is still running, and, well, we wouldn't be at all surprised to see some torpedoes coming around this side of the island as well. Nothing spotted yet. He is located. Somebody's using radio position finding, and he's been spotted again. Oh, that ain't good. You're going to want to start reversing around about now. No, he's popped his smoke. His hydro is still up, and you know what they say about smoke screens? They are torpedo magnets. He's got nothing to shoot at. Nope. Bit of a waste of a smoke screen. And he's just been radared. Almost certainly by that Des Moines, and he just doesn't really have effective angles of fire to shoot back at him. So one shot made it past the edge of the island, and it missed. Fantastic. This is an indefensible position. There's no point in him being here. He can't really... Yep, there are the torpedoes. He's not going to be able to cap. None of the destroyers on his team appear to want to cap. And you can't really blame them with the Des Moines over there running radar. Although the Des Moines radar has expired, and the torpedoes have sailed past harmlessly. He's not spotted at the moment. Well, spotted, probably not the right phrase. He's not detected at the moment. Now might be a good time to make a break for it, because he's not doing an awful lot over here. And so he decides, yep, this is the time. And that's exactly when that's a Chapayev over there, who lights him up with radar as well. Oh, great. A couple of shots coming in from around the island to the south there. High explosive volleys, and judging by the rate of fire, that is almost certainly an enemy destroyer, who unfortunately is in exactly the right spot to maintain line of sight, even though he's no longer detected by radar. So he's going to take a bit more damage before he manages to successfully disengage from that complete loser position around the side of the island where he dropped his smokescreen. But he's not pulling back too far, just to the next island. Still plenty of targets over there that need shooting at, and he's managed to go undetected. He takes a, well, it's not really much of a risk here. There's an enemy cruiser that's just begging to be shot at, and that does of course light him up momentarily, but then he's behind the island and he's safe and he's no longer detected once again. Anyway, back to the running shoe story. So, I'm in this Russian shopping mall in St. Petersburg and I see a Reebok shop and I think, nah, they'll be too expensive. And then I see a Quicksilver shop and I think, oh, no, they'll be too expensive as well. A Nike shop, no, they're going to be too expensive. And then I see exactly what I'm looking for. I can't even remember the name of the place, but they weren't selling any one brand in particular, and I thought, perfect. No name brand, somebody I've never heard of, cheap running shoes, exactly what I'm after. And I spotted a pair that I like the look of, and they seemed quite comfortable when I tried them on, and I'd never even heard of the brand before. They were from some company called New Balance. They're a British brand apparently, but I've never heard of them. Had a look at the price tag. It didn't mean a thing to me. 23,900 rubles. I haven't got a clue. Here's my debit card. I'll take these. 23,900 rubles. Just input your PIN number, please, sir. Started inputting my PIN number. 23,900. Hang on a minute. I'd actually keyed in my PIN number, but I hadn't hit the enter button when I realised that they were charging me £271 for a pair of running shoes. Actually, I don't really want them that badly. Who do you think I am? Usain Bolt? I'm not actually going to go running in them. I mean, gee, so there, that was pretty close. Speaking of pretty close, hello, Mr. Yu Yang. Yeah, this is the kind of situation you never really want to find yourself in. Yeah, he's seen your torpedoes coming. He's running hydro. There goes all of your health. And, yeah, torpedo beats. Confirmed. Not much of a gap, but wide enough to fit a Minotaur in. And if there's one thing that a Minotaur is very, very good, it's feasting on the tears of destroyers, especially at these kind of ranges. So, there's his first kill. And, yeah, I didn't spend £271 on a pair of running shoes in Russia. I went around the corner at the Quicksilver shop and I got a cheap pair there instead. I've investigated these running shoes once I arrived back in the UK. I found the brand. They're called New Balance, and no, I've never heard of them either. And the exact same pair of running shoes in the UK is a quarter of the price that they were going to charge me in Russia. But I just thought, well, 23,000 rubles is pocket change, surely. No, it isn't. It's £271. Which is bizarre, because the hotel that I stayed in for my final day, the hotel suite that I stayed in, only cost £52. Prices in Russia are just crazy. They go from one end of the extreme to the other. Oh, check out this kill secure on the Grosser Kurfürst. I mean, he's pretty confident that he's got the kill there, so he turns the guns around to face in the other direction. And the confidence was justified. Pops his smoke, and crap, he's been radared again. Who is it this time? Is it the Chapayev over there? It's not the Chapayev, no. It's the Baltimore. What Baltimore's that, Jingles? That one. And there goes all of Scarecrow's health. However, while the situation looks desperate, well, it is fairly desperate, the Minotaur has something in a close quarters fight, but the Baltimore doesn't. And that would be those torpedoes. The Baltimore's best bet at this point would have been to ram him, but instead he slowed to try to avoid the torpedoes. And to be completely fair to the Baltimore, he didn't really have much chance of getting a successful ram off. Either way, that's Scarecrow's third kill. He's up to 56,000 damage done. Another enemy Minotaur closing in. Doesn't really have to worry about him for the moment. Oh, he's spotted again. What? Ah, enemy destroyer. Momentarily spotted, poking around the side of the island. It's a Yugamo, not typically a gunboat-style destroyer, but he figures, well, Minotaur here on 3,700 health, I can take him. Guess what? You can't. Nice try, Yugamo. Nice try, but no cigar. Oh, hang on a second. Yeah, about that Minotaur. Crap. Okay, yeah. This is what we call an unfair fight. Now, there's a friendly Alabama that Minotaur is desperate to avoid. However, you'll note Scarecrow is once again detected. That enemy Minotaur is running his Hydro. So he knows exactly where Scarecrow is. Scarecrow's managed to recover some health. He can't directly attack that Minotaur just yet, but, well, the Minotaur can't attack him either. And while the enemy Minotaur is obviously more concerned with getting out a direct line of fire from the Alabama, he is, of course, or should be, because he's running Hydro, even though it just expired now, should be aware that Scarecrow's here. And yet, watch this. Comes around the corner straight into the torpedoes, and his guns are not even pointing in this direction. Yeah, 0 out of 10 situational awareness. Thanks for the Kraken, though. I did say that there were another 2 amusing incidents that I forgot to mention in Mingles with Jingles. I'll have to be quick with the second one because this match is nearly over. So, on the third night in St. Petersburg, the developers took us out for a meal at a sort of Czechoslovakian brewery-inspired pub/restaurant. I know, don't ask. And it looked like a fantastic place, but I was kind of really tired, and I just wanted to get back to the hotel, have a bath, and go to bed. So, yeah, I was being a bit of a party pooper, but I asked the devs if they could arrange transport for me back to the hotel, because I had no idea where I was, and I didn't know how to get from where I was to the hotel. They said, no problem, we'll call you an Uber. Fantastic. Uber's great, you know, you don't even need to be able to speak the language. The Uber app just takes care of everything for you. So the car arrived, and I jump inside, and we managed to travel about 100 meters when the driver's Uber app crashed on his phone. So it's like, he starts swearing and cursing and rushing at his phone. Pulls into a car park, and we spent the next 20 minutes trying to get the Uber app to stop crashing, trying to get his GPS to connect, and trying to get his phone rebooted without crashing the phone. After 20 minutes of listening to this guy curse in Russian, it's alarming how much Russian cursing I actually understand. Yeah, that probably says more about me than I'm comfortable with. But anyway, 20 minutes later, of sitting in this car park, he finally gets his phone to reboot without crashing, the GPS to connect, and his Uber app to start up without crashing. And he's like, you know, except in Russian. Okay, now we go. And he follows the line on the GPS, and it takes us straight back to the restaurant that he picked me up from. He's like, yeah, here we are. No. I'm trying to explain to him in English when he didn't speak a word of English and I didn't speak a word of Russian. This is where we were 20 minutes ago. So he's sitting there jabbering at me in Russian. No, you get out now, we're here. And I'm sitting there jabbering back at him in English. No, we're not here. This is where you collected me from, please. And I'm trying to... Crown Plaza, Ligorsky Prospect. And then the penny dropped. And he's like, And then he spent the next 5 minutes just, well, laughing his ass off. And I have to admit, it was kind of funny. So I had a good laugh with him as well. And then he drove me to my hotel. It was a 10-minute journey, and it took nearly 35 minutes. It's the Jingles effect, you see. Yeah, I can't explain it. I just live it. Anyway, back to the battle. Scarecrow's been spotted again. Who can it be? It must be that pesky destroyer. That's going to be really bad news for that destroyer. Hello, Mr. Fletcher. Where do you think you're going? I suspect there may be torpedoes. Hydro up. Yep, there are the torpedoes. Need to get a little closer. There we go. Picked him up with a Hydro. Oh, he's reversing. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. You know what happens when a destroyer gets spotted inside Hydro range by a Minotaur? Yeah. It doesn't usually end well for the destroyer. He may even hit the torpedoes. He's not going to even see the torpedoes coming because it's inside the smoke screen. Then again, if he survives long enough to eat a torpedo with a Minotaur shooting at him, that would also be quite surprising. And, yep, kill number 6. But hang on a minute, is that an Admiral Hipper on 480 health hiding around the side of an island? Well, first of all, well done to the Admiral Hipper player for surviving as long as this in a tier 10 game, but this is about as long as he's going to last, because that is going to be kill number 7. And yep, there it is. That just leaves the Montana. The enemy team are still way ahead on points. although they've got less points coming in now, obviously, but they held on to the caps for so long that they have a better than 100 point lead. That Montana doesn't really have much of a chance. There's a New Orleans over there, there's a Shimakaze piling on the speed, come around the corner of the island so he can torpedo the Montana. The Montana is heading straight towards and exchanging fire with an Alabama, but what he doesn't know, there's the Alabama, what he doesn't know, and if the Alabama has any sense he's going to ram him. But yeah, Scarecrow is sitting here and he's got 2 torpedo launchers and they're both ready to go. You can see the Shimakaze desperately, it's going to be a stern chasing shot, so even if he does get his torpedoes away, they're going to have to chase the Montana. And I think Scarecrow wants this kill, and he's not willing to risk the Shimakaze getting it, so he's going to go for it. Yeah, oh dear, oh dear. That salvo just revoked the Declaration of Independence. That salvo just reinstalled the Queen as the head of state of the United States of America, and those torpedoes have just given him a damn good colonizing. With my apologies, of course, to the United States of America. Scarecrow 443, 8 kills in the British Tier 10 light cruiser HMS Minotaur. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you enjoyed my misadventures in St. Petersburg, Russia last week, because that's it for today. And as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.